here today. My name is Leon, and today I'll be bringing you through Aegis. So my problem with the hack and slash genre has always kind of been, it's kind of a button mashing parade, and you just see an angry man on the screen go whack whack against enemies, and it's like, there's no class, there's no kind of precision going around. So the concept behind Aegis is, what if you took guarding and countering, which is something that's usually stapled on to regular hack and slashes, but make that the center of the hack and slash, so everything else is designed around it. So Aegis is a fast-paced, third-person hack and slash centered around guarding and blocking. Have a deadly dance with the enemies, watch their moves, then time your guards and counters to crush their attacks and nullify their attacks. And interestingly enough, since Aegis is a skill-based game, anything, and I mean anything in Aegis, can be guarded and countered if you're skilled enough. So now let's jump over to the player experience goals real quick. So as I mentioned before, Aegis is meant to be a challenging game. It's a skill-based game. So we want to push players to always try be in situations where they need to adapt and learn how to guard better. Once they're able to surmount that challenge, we want them to feel that sense of achievement, earned achievement, and we can reward them with just awesomeness, which I'll elaborate later, which will just give into like a positive kind of feedback loop. So how are we gonna make them feel this? We started with the mechanics. It's like 3 core things. As mentioned before, guarding and countering, that's fairly straightforward, and as well as the vestige power-up system, which I'll talk about later. Now, as I mentioned, Aegis is a skill-based game, but we need to quantify player skill. So that comes down to time. So if you were to imagine the moment that you press the guard button as time 1, and the moment that the enemy attack strikes you as time 2 minus time 1, that difference is the precision of your guard or counter. The smaller that difference, the greater the precision. Let me explain. So let's say here we have something which is an example of a low position guard. Maybe the player's new, they're mashing a little bit. So kind of like when he's guarding, see the HP bar, it's going down, it's taking chip damage. It's just a damage reduction. Nothing too impressive. But now when you start practicing, now you're starting good, you're getting that time, you're getting the feel. Well, what are you able to do? So now, get an attack, get out of my way. I don't know what to deal with you. Nope, you can't touch me. So high precision moves, nullify enemy attacks, nullify enemy projectiles, no problem. Similar concept with counters. So let's start with a simple low position counter. New guy, come in, back at you. Don't even bother. So, but that's still like, okay, so you're just starting out, but now what if you really sink the time? Really get good, get your time sharp. What do we got? Going all out. Massive counters, set pieces, devastating damage to your enemies. Something that you'll remember in a long time. So yeah, that counter's done, so now let's move on to vestiges. Vestiges are basically a power-up system to your guards and counters. And effectively, when you quit one, you'll change how they behave. So an example could be lightning rod. Guard your enemy at the right time, you imbue them with an electric charge. Counter them, bzz, suddenly every enemy in the vicinity is just shocked. Or how about we go into gravity well? Guard your enemy at the right time, boom, you increase their density. Counter, now you're creating a super monkey ball, bouncing around all over the stage, decimating your opponents. So now after mechanics are covered, we can finally go over to a bit about gameplay. So gameplay is similar to every standard third-person hack and slash. Kind of just run around the stage, beat up baddies, and you face a boss at the end. And we're just promising an epic set piece with every boss that comes your way. 2 things that I would like to point out are the enemies. We're talking hordes. It's odd to think of a game about guarding and countering against multiple enemies, but that's what we want. Constantly having players in a situation. Everything's attacking them left and right. They need to guard and counter proper times and use vestige to clear out large rooms of people. And then finally, bosses. Just like Castlevania, just like Mega Man, you're at the end of each stage at an epic boss fight. And when you beat it, you're rewarded with a set piece. Something to prove I was good enough, I beat that guy. All player control, by the way. Yeah. So yeah. So just a quick recap on the player experience goals, like from what I mentioned. So the idea is to give players an earned sense of dominance. You challenge them, push their skill, they're able to surmount that challenge, they earn the right to feel achievement. And it's like, hey, you didn't get a better sword, you didn't power level so that you could beat that guy. No, you got better as a player, so you beat the guy. So I think now we can quickly move on to the tone of the game. It's meant to be pure, unadulterated fun, satisfying to the player, and everything about the game is supposed to support this primary idea. So for example, with audio, I want it to be in a power metal and hard rock fashion, something in your face, get your heart pumping, adrenaline going, all that good stuff. What about for art? Okay, seems like odd choice. We're just going like gothic, kind of Arthurian, dark fantasy kind of thing with demons, knights, great spirits, and magic. That's seemingly fun, but for characters, writing and dialogue, all of them will be written like 80s B-rated action movies. So it's kind of like one-liners and quips left and right with just humor injected in between. So you're just kind of like playing knights with expendables, that kind of idea. So with kind of like characters kind of explained, now we can go on the actual main characters. On the right there, you see Rotelagard. Rotelagard is the captain of the royal guards of the city of Alexarius, one of the most powerful warriors in the land. That is not who you play. You're playing as Pavisgard, over here. Royal Guard, 3rd class of the city of Alexarius, and also little brother to Rotelagard. Pavis one day intercepts information that Rotella has defected over to the enemy side, the demons, and so he sets off on a quest to retrieve his sister, set her straight, and just bring her back. Now when you peel away all the crazy over-the-top action, all the humor and whatnot, what's Aegis really about? It's about family. And for anyone here who has an older sibling, you'll probably understand. If you're playing as player 2, your older sibling has just set the bar and expectations so high, you're just struggling to try and reach and just keep climbing towards that ideal. And it's really to resonate with the player. What is the meaning of family? How far will you go for family, and what that means? So with all that being said and done, who would want to play this? Hopefully at this point, some of you here would, I hope. But the real people that we're looking for is people who have that itch for skill. They're looking for a challenge. People who love the hack and slash genre. People who love the fighting game genre. But that's a little weird. Like, doesn't that seem like a niche audience? Like, who would want to play a game that they're purposefully subjected to hard torment? Incidentally, gamers apparently. So gamers are pretty masochistic. And these are some of the hardest games that were created, and I could put more, but these should give the general idea. Am I saying Aegis is going to reach the bajillion number of copies that Dark Souls is sold? No. But what I am saying is a market for it definitely exists. And so the goal for monetization is you want to sell it for $19.99 on Steam and release it for both Mac and PC. Leon, you may be saying, this is a pretty ambitious project here. You lost your marbles? Well, I've done a lot of thinking about this, and I tried to make it as feasible as possible, so let me walk you guys through it real quick. So the first thing is scope. The scope on the right for post-AGP is the full scope that I had in mind, but I'm not stupid. I'm just a student. I'm not all that experienced. This is probably like my first big rodeo. There are going to be mistakes, there are going to be setbacks, and yeah, I'm accounting for that. And so our goal for a year is to just have one solid vertical slice by the end of it with just a portion of the full game already done. So let's jump over to our timeline real quick. So a lot of big scary words up there, but I'll give you a quick rundown. Spring, right now, focus on recruitment. This is an ambitious game, so I would like a lot of people to get in on this. Summer, we focus on pre-production, but also tool development in terms of engineering, AI. So AI, character design, level design, all of that good stuff. Anything that we can front load, or to front load so that we can hit the ground running in fall, so that by then we can just really focus our efforts on development. And by November 5th, I know pretty crazy, that is the goal for alpha. Then we have more than enough time to actually spend on Goldmaster and beta, Goldmaster, and polish. That's insane. November 5th, demo day? November 5th, alpha? Well, there are a couple of things that make this a little easier. In terms of assets, thankfully, this is made in Unreal Engine, so Infinity Blade assets and Paragon assets are free. Key characters and key villains will still have the love shown to them and have the correct model and have all the modeling and rigging done for them. But for lesser characters, lesser enemies, environments, these are expertly crafted assets that are already available. And I would think it is right to just use them within the game so that artists can focus on what actually makes or breaks a hack and slash animation. And I want the artists to be able to work their magic there. Speaking of animation, there's another big thing, which is the code base, which I've been working on. And being developed on Unreal Engine, I try to really put a heavy emphasis on tools. Some examples would be, say, this combo editor, animations. As a designer or artist, don't you worry. Not a single line of code is needed. Just click, what animation do you want? Boom, go into the game. You now have a combo playing from just specified animations. But what about what the combo does? Got you covered. Gameplay effects. This is effectively Legos for effects. You want to knock people back, you will set people on fire, freeze them. Another simple drop down, click and choose, done. For the sake of brevity, this tech demo is something that I did for the undergrad AGP pitch presentation. Have a look-see when you can, but essentially just shows where we are right now. Right now, I would like to extend a very, very heartfelt thank you to Professor Mike Zaida, who actually gave me this opportunity to make the presentation today. I was actually given this opportunity 26 hours ago when I had nothing for a presentation. So I was able to assemble my team of Avengers in a matter of just 24 hours to come up with this, and I'm very, very grateful to these people to help me make this happen.
3 minutes.
Which, unfortunately, brings me to probably the weakest part of Project Aegis. I don't have a team. This game was rejected from undergraduate AGP, and so I told the guy, hey, undergrad AGP is the real deal, follow that. And the friends that helped me make this presentation, they're either graduating or just can't work on this project and just help me out in kindness. But this is, and I've been a one-man army on this for quite a bit of time, and it's I need help to make this great, and honestly, I'm getting too blind to make this myself. This is where you guys come in. There are some of you out there who are sitting on the fence on what game to join. Some of you guys maybe decide that AGP is just another box to check off. Well, I'd like to say just consider Aegis. Aegis is meant to be a crucible for growth. It's meant for you to hone your skill in the discipline of your choice, the engineering, design, or art. It's your chance to show the world how amazing you are at that discipline. So if you want to make your mark, consider making your mark by making Aegis, please. So this is my contact information, and I'll be hanging around later. Please come talk to me if you're interested in this project. And yeah, I think we only have a little bit of time left, so thank you guys for listening. Let's go to Q&A.
That's good.
All right.
Where do I sign?
Leon, I have a question.
Yes.
How are you going to differentiate the look and feel of your assets from the other 9,000 companies using Paragon assets?
So the key idea is really inspired by Red vs. Blue. So kind of like Halo and what Rooster did Red vs. Blue, it's kind of a funny subversion of the whole entire thing. And I'm not saying that we can directly reach into like the Infinity Blade or Paragon mythos, but what I'm saying is that we could do it as kind of a kooky side adventure and eventually get the attention of Epic and just say, hey, this may be a student project, but we think it'd be really cool to incorporate into the universe.